The Trump administration sent to Capitol Hill last night a $2.5 billion supplemental budget request for additional money to fight the coronavirus, but House Democrats immediately labeled it as insufficient, indicating a battle ahead in Congress over the emergency aid. The administration's request would require enhanced authority to move around federal funds, a non-starter with Democrats who are already livid over White House moves to reshuffle existing funds toward the border wall. The package proposes using untouched money, including hundreds of million dollars in fiscal 2020 cash to fight Ebola. In total, the administration is seeking $1.25 billion new funding, relying on extra flexibility to unlock the rest. More than $1 billion of this money would go towards vaccine development. The other funds would go towards stockpiling protective equipment like masks, according to the Office of Management and Budget. While the money is meant to be spent in 20, the request contains language that would allow the spending to continue through 2021 if needed. I quote, the Trump administration continues to take the spread of COVID-19, that's the coronavirus disease, very seriously. This from Rachel Semmel, a spokesperson for OMB, in a statement. Today, the administration is transmitting to Congress a $2.5 billion supplemental funding plan to accelerate vaccine development, support preparedness and response activities, and to procure much-needed equipment and supplies. We're also freeing up existing resources and allowing for greater flexibilities for response activities. House Democrats, though, took no time in rejecting the request. Appropriations Chair Nita Lowey of New York calling it woefully insufficient. Lowey and others have warned the White House against siphoning funds from other health initiatives to fight the coronavirus, urging the Trump administration to seek new emergency funding instead. She goes on to say, despite urgent warnings from Congress and the public health community, the Trump administration took weeks to request these emergency funds, Lowey said in his statement. It's profoundly disturbing that their answer now is to raid money Congress has designated for other critical public health priorities. Worse still, their overall request still falls short of what is needed for an effective government-wide response. House Democrats will move quickly to enact a robust package that fully addresses the global emergency without allowing this administration to steal from other necessary programs. Here's the answer. Sign whatever the hell they send up. I don't care what they send up. We have a $22 trillion debt, and now we're arguing about $1 billion for a virus that could destroy the economy. Sign whatever they send and add $1 billion. That's my response. The Trump administration playing around with moving funds trying to save a dime someplace is insane. If this coronavirus spreads to the U.S. and Trump is negotiating funding, who do you think is going to get blamed for this? Trump. This is one of those things where you sign whatever they send up and then add on. And whatever they send, say it isn't enough. Add on another $1 billion. We have a $22 trillion deficit. What the hell's the difference? The money now has become monopoly money. Nobody can even figure out how much money we owe. It's in the trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. You can't find enough zeros. Oh, this is a winning issue for Democrats. Trump's instincts should be good enough. Get rid of the green eyeshade crowd and sign whatever it is they send over. Ask them to send it over today. Sign it and then add $1 billion. And don't raid the other funds. Something happens to something else, they'll blame him for that. You're in an election cycle. One thing can derail your campaign and elect Bernie Sanders, the socialist president. You know what it is? An insufficient response to this. Like George Bush and FEMA. Good job, Billy Boy, whatever the guy's name, Brownie or some nonsense. This is the stuff that nails you. Government response to hurricanes, disasters, floods, tornadoes, viruses, sickness, plague. The federal government response nails you. So why we're arguing with the Democratic Congress about what money to send, and that now is the debate, and there's no argument, there's no way to go on TV and say, well, we want to save $1 billion here and $100 million there. What? People are scared to death of getting sick and dying. So forget that, dude. I don't need 8 hours of analysis here, and I don't need 25 clips. He needs to sign whatever they ask. In fact, I would have not even put up a number. I would have gone to them and said, give me a number and I'll sign it. Nancy, give me a package. I'll sign it. If they took money from the border wall temporarily, I'd have signed that. What's the difference? You got to stop this thing in its tracks. And you got to shut down the borders. And see, once you sign their package and you want to close the borders, they can't say anything. What are they going to say? Well, we don't want to deny people illegal entry into the country, even though they might bring the virus in, even though we just spent another $5 billion on it of taxpayer money. You take all their arguments away. Now, Obama requested $6.2 billion in 2014 to fight Ebola. Trump should have requested $8 billion. What's the difference? You're in an election cycle. Who on earth is advising Trump? Who made this advisement? It is stupid. Coupled with the fact it's the wrong thing to do. You don't know how big this thing is. You have no idea what impact on the economy it's going to have. No one knows. Steve Bannon does an hour show on it a day, 11 to noon. War room pandemic. We have no idea how big this is. The Chinese communist regime has lied to the world from day one. No one knows. All of a sudden, you got 350 people in Italy got it. Where'd they get it? No one knows that either. They went from 3 to 350 in a weekend. This thing is transmitted through breathing. The 350 can turn into 35 million in a heartbeat. I'm telling you, man, whoever is advising the president on this is moronic. Trump's emergency funding request also far short of what some public health experts and former administration appointees had deemed necessary. Chris Meekins, a Raymond James analyst and former Trump administration HHH official, had called for $15 billion, arguing that $3 billion was needed for vaccine development alone. Do it. I'm for $15 billion. Now, the Democrats, if this thing spreads to the U.S., it is going to sink the Trump re-election campaign like that. Doesn't matter what the economy is. It sinks it in one day. So why are you screwing with this? Better safe than sorry. The money that we waste on garbage, money on doing scientific studies of ostriches in mating season or whatever the hell we do, cut that. Do the $15 billion. What they should have sent over was a $15 billion package, or let the Democrats do it. Hey, what do you guys think? $20 billion? Fine, I'll sign it. Sounds like a good plan to me. And then try to execute it for the safety of the American people. Now, this request for additional money comes in response to the growing threat of the coronavirus as the pandemic has spread to Italy, South Korea, and Japan. As soon as it hits Italy, you're screwed. That, to me, was the wake-up call. Long as it's in Asia, there's some way you can figure, to keep it out of the U.S. Stop the flights, stop the shipments, stop the boats. As soon as you get to Italy, now you're in southern Europe. What's going to stop it from spreading to Austria, Germany, Romania? The market dropped 1,000 Monday, and it's going to keep dropping. Amid economic uncertainty, White House officials wanted to project a confident attitude. You know what? That's stupid. Well, we're only going to put $2.5 billion because we're confident this isn't bad. You know what? You can spend the $15 billion. If everything is fine, no one cares. In fact, you help the markets by giving them the confidence you're doing everything in order to back it. We spend so much money on stupid things. Some Republicans close to the White House and some aides were calling the coronavirus a black swan, meaning they deemed it an unpredictable event with potentially severe consequences. You think? Trump the advisors he has around him. I mean, who is advising him? Mulvaney? This virus, no one knows what this is. First it was from a snake, then it was from a bat. Now that's debunked. No one knows. This virus has infected over 80,000 people across the world. Now, 53 are in the United States. They're confirmed to have contracted the virus almost entirely overseas. One senior administration official said the White House felt good about this level of containment, praising the president early on for suspending travel to and from China, even as he attempted to maintain good relationship with dictator Xi Jinping. I don't call him president, dictator. That's what he is. The markets do not like uncertainty, and coronavirus is uncertainty. We're confident the fundamentals of the U.S. economy remain strong, piped in an unnamed Trump official. Well, you're an idiot. You're a moron. Because you don't know what this is. And why you would give the Democrats the political upper hand on this virus is insanity. You put yourself in a lose. If nothing happens, you can't claim credit. If something happens, Bernie Sanders is president. Why would you risk this over $10 billion? Plus, it makes sense. You want a vaccine. So spend whatever it takes. Who cares? We're broke anyway. We're bankrupt anyway. John Fredericks Radio Network. You know, you need me to just tell you what the hell is going on here on a daily basis. So you turn off Fox and you're going to get their nonsensical echo chamber spin. I give you the truth. Thanks for tuning in.